Assalamualaikum. A very good day, everyone. I'm Yusmadi. For this session, I would like to share some of my research work on my area of study, which is on the performance measurement mainly. And for today, I would like to cover on the performance measurement for big data system. Okay, any question later you can email to me, yusmadi@upm.edu.my. Okay, so any information related on UPM, you can browse www.upm.edu.my. I'm from Faculty of Computer Science and Information Technology under Department of Software Engineering and Information System. Okay, so for today, the content of my presentation is about performance measurement for big data system, and this is the what we call in terms of the content. Okay, a background a bit in terms of performance measurement, introduction, methodology, related work performance measurement models that we have proposed, prototype development that we have created on the development for the prototype, and conclusion. As a background, performance measurement, okay, performance measurement system and also big data system is two related topics, which is quite some time because I'm doing my PhD on the performance measurement as well. And big data systems, especially, is something which is like 5 to 10 years back is very, people are concerned in terms of big data and big data system, and my focus will be on the big data analytics. Okay, so we know that in measuring the performance is something which is necessary because we want to know how we are improving, or how effective or how efficiency is the process. Okay, and my area is more in terms of the software development process, and from there we have to know the performance. Okay, and it's not only know about the performance, but how we want to measure the performance. It's very important to measure the performance, and what are the measurements that we want to use, because in measuring the performance we have to know the measures, what are the metrics. Okay, so with that, okay, we have to know the back end performance of our system, and then what we are talking now is about the big data system. Okay, alright, so in terms of that, okay, big data system, okay, we have to know to understand the factors that contribute to the performance. Okay, and once we have the factors that contribute to the performance, I will show you some of the factors that we have formulate, I would say, in a way of proposing once we have the literature review, and then there are factors that being highlighted by the researchers as well. Okay, and from there specify the measures and metric in details, and then what we have now is that in terms of sustainability and continuous on the evaluation. Okay, so once we have the measure and metric, it's not a static one, because now people also, it's not about the system that we have, but also how sustained are our system. Okay, because sustainability, how it will go for future. Okay, how many years it will be sustained. So achieving durable big data system performance is something which is we need to consider. Okay, and know your big data system, how it performs and how sustained it is. So in this presentation, I will divide into three major parts here. Okay, so part one, which is on the big data analytic, because to be scoped on further, we would like to go for, it's not about the big data system because it's very general, so we go for the big data analytic system. So big data analytic system processes measures and metrics, the first part. Second part is on the eco-sustainability and green analytic metrics, which is on the sustainability. And part 3 here is on the implementation, which is, as mentioned just now, on the prototype development. One system that we created for the implementation. Okay, so on the research operational framework, on conducting the research, this is the operational framework that we have conduct, which is on theoretical foundation to conduct on the literature review study. Okay, and then make the what they call model formulation. We propose a model based on the theoretical foundation. Instrument development, which is before we conduct the data collection, we develop a questionnaire, okay, for the data collection, and we conduct empirical studies on the data collection itself. Model verification, we verify. It's not only verification here, we conduct with the expert review, and then last on the result interpretation. So all these processes or steps, okay, on the right side there is the what are the method or scientific method that we have applied during our research. So on the related work, what we have is that we study on the big data analytic process. Okay. Of course, on the performance measurement, as I mentioned just now, some of the literature highlighted just now. And it's not only on the what is performance measurement. We are studying also in terms of what are the existing theory and models being proposed by other researchers. And also indicate in terms of big data processes. Okay, what are the big data analytic processes? And then we are proposing the performance measurement for big data analytic processes, BDAS. BDAS, sorry for the typo. Eco-sustainability and green analytic model. Okay, so we are trying to detail out the models, which is also scoping in terms of the sustainability aspect, and here we name it as eco-sustainability and green analytic models. Okay, so before that, what is actually performance measurement? Okay, include process efficiency as mentioned before, which is on the productivity and effectiveness and process compliance. So we are not only on the efficiency and effectiveness, but also on the process compliance, because it represents the big analytic process itself. Okay, so issues and gap being critical. Being conduct critical analysis, and from there we have in terms of what are our suggestion after that. Right. Okay, so this is given some of the sample or example of related model that we have under study. Okay, we have conducted. There are many models related on performance measurement, and when we have on the performance measurement together with the big data analytic process, there are no such, for now, no such model. So we are trying to propose on that part. Okay, so beside all those models here, we are also getting, or we are trying to collect what are the measures being highlighted from those models. Okay, so listed out here, okay, on the performance model and also related performance model, and also the measures being highlighted in the models. Right, so I just go very fast on this one. Okay, on the that is on the performance measurement. Others is on the big data analytic process, which is defined as collecting data from diverse sources. As we know, big data is something which is have the 5 ways, right? It's a big collection of data, and those big data analytic is the one which is on the analytical process. Okay? So big data analytic process is the end to the end as the end-to-the-end process, which is collecting, processing, analyzing, and presented to the user. Okay, so that is what we call the general process. Okay, so number of phases including data acquisition, data preparation, which is integration and pre-processing, data processing and analysis, visualization and interpretation. So on the big data analytic processes itself contribute other related sub-process. Okay? So involve data to process and tools used to operate on data. Okay, so when we are talking about big data, okay, so it's beyond human capability in terms of processing the data. So we need the tools. Okay, so these tools used to operate, okay, and to perform, and also in terms of to visualize, because we are not looking at the raw data. We try to summarize it and to come up with the answers or other related analysis, okay, on the visualization. Okay, analyzing on existing data analysis processes here. Okay, we are list out on the left column. There is on the authors, list of authors that being referred to see how many process actually being highlighted by those authors. Okay, so each of the column after that is represented. The tick one means that it being highlighted by that particular author. So we have done these summary tables, okay, to conclude in terms of what are the big data analytic processes related. Okay, so on that part, on top of that, okay, we are looking in terms of the big data analytic process components. On the big data analytic process itself, now we look in terms of broader perspective to contribute in terms of the sustainability. Okay, because on the sustainability, we are not only on the process base, but also we look on broader perspective. Okay, so with that, we are looking on the technology, people, and work condition, because big data analytics, we have the tools, but in a way of to perform or to complete the process is not only the internal factors, we are also looking in terms of other factors, which is these three factors. Okay, so the first one, technology, which is the user. Okay, so the user are performing the big data analysis processes, okay, using certain tools. So the what we call the related skill and support working environment is very important. Okay, so the technology here can be in terms of the tool itself. What are the elements that being provided in that particular tools? With that, okay, the technology will contribute more. Okay, the people relate on the skill, and then work conditions. Okay, those performance measures and performance contributing factors. Okay, we have list out here. Okay, efficiency, effectiveness. Just now the three factors, which is on the technology, competency is the skill, okay, and work condition. Okay, so combination of effectiveness, efficiency, okay, and another three factors will contribute more on the measurements, and hopefully, okay, with the what they call the relate items here means that to detail more on the measures and the references provided at the on the last column there. Okay, so this is the initial model that we have proposed, and we did publish in the journals. Okay, the prior literature study conducted shows that classification on the lack of the measurements for the BDS performance. Okay, So then come up with the detail for the performance measurement model. Okay. The measures on the left, okay, in the middle is the BDA process, and what are the detailed measurements that being found from the literature. Okay. And this is detailed out in terms of how those measures and metrics, okay, being applied measures for detail for each big data processes, okay, big data analysis processes. Okay, this is the illustration, another illustration related. Okay. And I did mention on the eco-sustainability, okay, eco-effectiveness. Okay. So this represent in terms of the sustainability factors. So all these eco-sustainability, eco-effectiveness, eco-equity, bioefficiency is we try to go in detail in terms of measuring the sustainability. And those are the what they call the terminologies that we propose based on our literatures. Okay? And this is the eco-sustainability models for the big data analytics. Okay. Right. So the sustainability, eco-sustainability, one of it is what we call the green software. Okay. Well, now are concerned on the software legacy. Software legacy software means that software which is outdated, right? There are many outside there, old systems being used for many years, many decades, and they are old enough. Okay, and old here doesn't mean that they are improving or their performance are good, because sometimes they are underperformance. Okay, so what we want to measure is that in terms of how green is the software, okay, how young is the software, because as we know, although it being used for many decades, for example, there are many improvements being done by the developers or by the person who are maintaining the system. Okay, and with that, those are some of the metrics that we use for to measure the green software. Okay, so this is the model, okay, what we call eco-sustainability quality model for green IS. Okay, and this is the implementation part, where we have in terms of measuring the performance using those measurements that we have proposed. Okay, and this is to show some of the example of the system architecture. Okay, a bit on the system architecture, and this is some of the example of user interfaces of the prototype that being developed. Okay, and what we are trying to contribute here can be in terms of theoretical and also practical, because we have the implementation part on the what they call the systems. Okay, on the theoretical part is performance measurements and factors that is valuable asset in big data body of knowledge. Okay, in input to future big data research. And on the practical is on the systems that we have developed, and also we have do some testing to the company, developer company, and from there it give good comments from the company on the system that we have developed. Okay. So in conclusion, measuring the big data systems in general is very important nowadays, because outside the company or in many sectors they are already having their big data systems, especially, and how to measure the system, okay, performance on processing big data, on storing, and also providing the result is very important, which is on the big data analytic processes. Okay, with that, thank you so much.